These upcoming months are of incredible importance for airlines around the world as we enter into the summer season for many carriers. After a tough couple of years, the rebound during these next few months signifies a further changing of the times, which are now more hopeful and filled with a somewhat more consistent and also robust schedule. In saying all this, it does mean that British Airways have announced, just in time for the summer, an exciting yet also significant route network expansion towards the United States of America. It's also a market that just cannot be ignored, and for the British carrier, it's one that typically sees them seek great returns. Flying out of London Heathrow, their home, British Airways will head to a total of 26 different cities within the United States. Portland, Oregon will be the first to see a route relaunching, this route having launched on June the 3rd. Now that is the day this video is being recorded, but of course, by the time this goes out, that route will have already resumed. They'll be utilizing the Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner equipment for this flight. Meanwhile, on the same day, they also saw the relaunch of the Pittsburgh service utilizing the Boeing 787 Dreamliner as well. 10 days after June the 3rd, on June the 13th, the airline will also be returning to San Jose, California. The Director of Networks and Alliances at British Airways said, "This summer, British Airways will be flying from 26 US cities to London, and we're very excited to be adding Portland to our list of transatlantic destinations. Not only are we the only airline to offer direct flights from Portland to London, but this new route also opens a wide variety of connections for our customers." Additionally, through Alaska Airlines, our One World partner, British Airways will offer codeshare connections to several destinations operated by Alaska Airlines from Portland. This is another fundamental part of airlines, alliances, and of course route expansions that simply cannot be ignored, and it's being emphasized right here by the Director of Network and Alliances at British Airways. While of course a route launch or a route relaunching to say Portland or anywhere in the world is beneficial, if you can link that up and you're a part of an alliance and establish those important code share agreements, the benefits for customers are huge, as it means they can travel onwards on the same ticket with another airline. And it essentially means that those that will be flying British Airways will have now numerous destinations that they may not have even thought about visiting at the tip of their fingers. Business travel, you could argue, has been one of the hardest hit sectors from the pandemic in the aviation scene, and the slow recovery has been ever present and impacted several markets and customers. That being said, we're very slowly but surely rebounding, and it's a welcome sight like all things. With this, British Airways has announced that a daytime flight will be launching from Newark to London, with a complete focus for this service on supporting that all-important business travel market. Meanwhile, in addition, another critical point involves the Airbus A380 returning. There was a time, you may recall, when we did not even think the A380 would be flying once again, but it's back and better than ever, you'd like to think at least. This is being done thanks to Chicago and Vancouver already being among the latest cities to welcome the Super Jumbo back to the skies and their airport. Meanwhile, Dallas-Fort Worth, from July 1st, will be seeing the first ever arrival of the British Airways A380. Again, it's a lovely sight to see these big beasts still flying, when, as I mentioned 2 years ago, you could have very easily said we may never see them flying ever again. Now, it's over to you. Do you have any thoughts on some of the routes relaunching, and of course the A380 maybe potentially returning to the skies in the United States and even up in Vancouver? You can let me know down below. Thanks very much for tuning into coverage on British Airways, and I will see you next time.